Hello students, my name is Swati Shilpi, Assistant Professor, Department of Education, Patna Women's College Autonomous. Today we will try to understand about micro-teaching. Micro-teaching is a teacher training technique. According to Allen, it is a scaled-down teaching encounter in class size and class time. So it is a training technique where the trainee teaches a small concept to a small number of students for a very limited amount of time. It takes place in a simulated setting. Simulation is a constructed situation which is identical to a real situation. A teacher teaches a group of 5 to 10 students for a period of 5 to 10 minutes. Thus, we can say that micro-teaching is a teacher training technique that is used to enable the trainees to acquire mastery over the various teaching skills. Now we'll study about the phases. There are 3 phases of micro-teaching: knowledge acquisition phase, skill acquisition phase, and transfer phase. Now, knowledge acquisition phase. Here, students gain theoretical knowledge and learn about micro-teaching and various teaching skills, their significance, and what role they will play in classroom teaching. This is the pre-active phase. Activities involved in this phase are reading related literature, observing a demonstrated lesson on the skill, analysis and discussion on the demonstration, etc. Next is skill acquisition phase. It is the interactive phase. Here, the trainees gain mastery over the skills by observing, practicing, and getting feedback on their micro lessons and repeating it till the attainment of desired level of mastery over the skill. Next is the transfer phase. It is the post-active phase, where the now mastered skills are transferred to actual classroom teaching and combining and integrating the various skills in real classroom situations. Now let's study about the nature of micro-teaching. It offers a helpful setting for both experienced and inexperienced teachers to acquire the necessary skills of teaching. It provides trainees information about their performance immediately after their lesson. This immediate feedback will be helpful to gain mastery over the skills. Now, complexities of normal class are reduced as a single concept is taught to a miniature classroom for a short duration of time. Complex skills are broken into various simple components which are easier to practice and inculcate. Lesson is planned using a single concept. Now, the program of micro-teaching. A particular skill and its various components are defined to the students. Micro lesson on the skill is planned by the student. The student teaches the micro lesson to a small group which is videotaped or audio taped or observed by the supervisors. After the lesson, feedback is provided. Now, based on the feedback provided, the student teacher replans the lesson. The revised lesson is then retaught and feedback is again provided. And this cycle may be repeated till the required teaching skill is acquired. Now, steps of micro-teaching. The first step is orientation, in which necessary theoretical information about micro-teaching and various teaching skill is given to the students like we are doing now. In the second step, there is discussion on teaching skill. Here, teaching skills are analyzed along with their various components. Rationale and role of teaching skill in teaching are also discussed. Next, there is selection of a particular teaching skill. In this, teaching skills are selected one at a time for practice. Model lesson comes next. A demonstration on the skill is held before the students, which could be in a form of video or may be presented by teacher educators. Now, criticism of the model lesson. Model lesson is observed and analyzed and appropriate feedback is provided. Steps of micro-teaching can be condensed in the following form: planning or preparation of micro-lesson, teaching of micro-lesson, feedback, replanning of the micro-lesson, reteaching and re-feedback. Now, the setting. The duration of one micro-teaching cycle is 36 minutes. These 36 minutes are divided as teaching will have 6 minutes, feedback will be given 6 minutes, replanning is given 12 minutes, reteaching again 6 minutes, refeedback 6 minutes. So in total 36 minutes is given in a one micro teaching cycle. Now the figure here depicts the micro teaching cycle. In planning, a skill is selected and micro lesson is planned according to its components. The skill is practiced by teaching of micro lesson. After teaching, immediate feedback is provided to the student on the various components and teaching behavior of the skill. Based on feedback, micro lesson is replanned, retaught, and again feedback is given till mastery over the skill is attained. In micro teaching setting, number of students are 5 to 10, so a small number of students. Your peer group are your pupils, they are your students. You have a supervisor, that will be your teacher, and feedback is provided by your peers and supervisors. Now what is the need of micro teaching? In actual field experience plays a crucial role in effective performance. Practical use of theoretical knowledge helps the teacher to perform better in actual school classrooms. It is not always possible to present actual experience to trainees. For effective classroom teaching, a teacher requires a number of years of practice in a real classroom situation, and micro teaching helps in acquiring these skills by practicing in a simulated environment. Simulation stops wastage of time and energy of student, teachers and the students too. Student teachers are able to learn classroom management with a small group, and pupils are not treated as lab rats for the teacher trainees for their training. In a normal classroom, there are 50 to 60 students, a period of 40 to 50 minutes, and a teacher uses a number of teaching skills which cannot be acquired all at once. The main advantage of micro teaching is that a large number of students can be trained in a small span of time. It motivates the student teachers to focus on a particular skill and master the same. With scaled down teaching encounter skills can be mastered in a better manner. These are some teaching skills given by Allen and others: stimulus variation, set induction, closure, silence and non-verbal cues, reinforcement of student participation, fluency in asking questions, higher order questions, divergent questions, recognizing attending behavior, illustrating and use of examples, explanation, planned repetition, completeness of communication. Now, Passe and others gave the following teaching skills: writing instructional objectives, introducing a lesson, fluency in questioning, probing questions, explaining, illustrating with examples, stimulus variation, silence and non-verbal cues, reinforcement, increasing pupil participation, using blackboard, summarizing or achieving closure, recognizing attending behavior. Now the core teaching skills that we will study further are skill of introduction, skill of explanation, skill of stimulus variation, skill of reinforcement, skill of questioning, skill of illustration, skill of blackboard writing and skill of closure. So these are the skills that we will study further in micro teaching. Thank you. We will conclude over here.